Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're diving into something fascinating but honestly kind of alarming. We're looking at why completely well-intentioned things you do every single day might actually be destroying your cat's trust in you. Are you absolutely sure those daily habits are building a bond? Because they might be quietly breaking it. Let's find out. We're going to group these daily mistakes into four key areas: the trust illusion, disrupting their safe space, forcing unnatural interactions, and ignoring their silent language. Stick around for that last one, because we're going to reveal a hidden, incredibly damaging habit almost all of us do multiple times a day without even realizing it. Let's start with a major paradigm shift for Section 1, the trust illusion. It's crazy to think about, but what looks like completely normal, loving behavior to us can actually be processed as a major survival threat by our cats. Which brings us right into Section 2, disrupting their safe space. This covers sleep, hygiene, and territory. 16. That is how many hours a day cats can sleep. Now, I know it's incredibly tempting to wake them up for a cuddle, right? They look so soft and peaceful, but this isn't just them being lazy. It's a massive biological necessity. Their sleep cycles are directly tied to regulating their nervous system, their immune function, and emotional processing. So when you reach over to pet them and interrupt that sleep, you're actually introducing a consistent low-level stress into their daily routine. Over time, they literally learn that resting near you just isn't safe, and eventually they'll stop choosing that cozy spot next to you on the couch. Moving on to another disruption of their safe space. Is skipping the litter box for just one day really a big deal? Be honest, when was the last time you scooped it? You might think putting off litter box duty for one busy day is totally harmless. You'll just get to it tomorrow, right? Well, let's look at how your cat's ancient survival instincts actually process that perceived neglect. Here's where the huge disconnect happens. To us, it's just a chore we can put off. But if you step into your cat's paws, that box is the one place in the house where they feel completely in control. In the wild, a dirty elimination site isn't just, annoying. It's a hardwired survival risk. It acts like a giant magnet for predators and screams high vulnerability. And guess what? That instinct doesn't just switch off just because they live in a modern apartment. When their world feels unclean, they feel unsafe. And the worst part? You become associated with that exact feeling. So what's the magic number here? 1. You absolutely need to scoop that box a minimum of one time a day, with a full clean once a week. It literally takes 4 minutes. Doing this actually proves to your cat that you're paying attention to their needs, and it shows them you are someone they can inherently rely on. Our last point in this safe space section is about your home's layout. You look around and see a living room. Your cat sees a highly complex survival map. Moving your couch or rearranging a room without warning might just be a fun little redecorating project for you. But studies on feline stress actually show that environmental unpredictability is a massive anxiety trigger. Why? Because moving things around overnight completely shatters their meticulously calculated mental map of escape routes and safe zones. They suddenly have to rebuild that map from scratch, all while stressing out about whether their environment is actually safe anymore. Okay, let's move on to Section 3, forcing unnatural interactions. We're talking specifically about hands and strangers here. Have you ever used your hands to play with a tiny kitten, letting them swat and bite your fingers, and then wondered why, out of absolutely nowhere, your older cat bites your hand way too hard? It seems harmless and cute at first, but there's a serious biological calculation happening behind those eyes. When you wiggle your fingers, you're fully activating their predatory instinct. You are permanently training their brain to see your hands as prey targets to be hunted, rather than safe sources of affection. Every single time you let it happen, that association just gets locked in deeper. The fix is super simple, though. Just use a wand toy or a feather to put some solid distance between your skin and their instincts. This brings us to a huge social friction point: how cats view new people or pets. If you bring home a new partner, a baby, or a second pet, you might assume your cat will just figure it out and adjust. But unlike dogs, cats are not socially wired to default to trust. Every single new presence in their environment is immediately calculated as a potential threat, period, until proven otherwise. So overriding their entire threat evaluation system by rushing an introduction, that just tells them you don't care that they're scared. Instead, you've got to build trust properly. Step 1, let them observe from a safe distance. Step 2, never, ever force, corner, or hold them against their will. And Step 3, always allow the cat to approach when they feel ready. Research shows that cats who get these gradual, controlled introductions form significantly stronger and much more lasting bonds. And that brings us finally to Section 4, ignoring their silent language. This is the daily habit that is breaking their trust. This is honestly the most dangerous, trust-breaking habit of all, and it's something almost every single owner does multiple times a day without even realizing it. When you're interacting with your cat, they are constantly telling you if they're overwhelmed. They use subtle physical cues, flattened ears, a low, flicking tail, skin rippling across their back, or even just a slow shift of their body weight away from you. Your cat is communicating in the absolute only language they have. Pushing past these signals and continuing to pet or hold them sends a devastating message that you simply aren't listening. It is literally the fastest way to collapse whatever trust you've built up. And look, this isn't just theory. A 2020 study published in Scientific Reports proved this biological reality, and the contrast is pretty stark. Cats whose owners consistently respected their silent signals showed much lower stress markers and significantly stronger social bonds. On the flip side, cats whose signals were consistently ignored showed the exact opposite, super high stress and a much weaker bond with their humans. So, the crucial takeaway from all this data is really simple. Trust for a cat is not built on love alone. It is built on feeling understood. Ultimately, no amount of well-meaning human affection can fill the gap left by a lack of basic biological understanding. If they feel ignored, the bond breaks. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a vital question to think about. Observe your cat today, watch their body language, respect their safe spaces, and really ask yourself, are you truly speaking their language and loving them on their terms? Or are you just forcing them to speak yours? Thanks for joining us for this explainer, and I hope this helps you build an unbreakable bond with your feline friend.